guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Elaini, or the Real Elaini, and today we're going to talk about how to teach in South Korea, and I'm so excited to give you guys 10 easy steps to follow to become an amazing English teacher in the amazing country of South Korea. So if you don't know, I taught English in South Korea for 18 months, about a year and a half, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. So many things changed for me. I feel like I discovered myself there. I learned so much. I became adaptable. There was so much that happened when I lived there, and I cannot recommend the experience enough. I think everyone should go abroad and teach. I think it's an amazing experience, and it's just something that you'll carry with you, the lessons, the memories, the friends, everything for the rest of your life. So South Korea does require you to have a visa while you're living there, and contracts usually go for about a year at a time. So this is the 10-step process on how you get your job, get your visa, and move to South Korea. Step number 1 is to figure out if you meet the requirements. Now, there are specific requirements when it comes to teaching in South Korea. You have to be under the age of 65 years old. You need to be born in a primarily English-speaking country, and you need to be fluent in English, of course. The last thing is you need to have a bachelor's degree, and you can have a bachelor's degree in literally anything to teach in South Korea. Step number 2 is to decide what kind of teaching you want to do. Do you want to work at a private school? Do you want to work at a public school? What age group are you looking for? Do you want to teach kindergarten or adults or college students or middle school? These are great things to sit down and think about, just so you have an idea of what kind of jobs you're looking for and what kind of research to do. For my video, I'm going to be talking about private schools because I went through the process to work at a hagwon, and I taught kindergarten my first year. In my second year, I did elementary school and middle school. Step number 3, you need to gather all of your documents, and there are a lot. So you need your original birth certificate, an up-to-date passport. That would be your first thing that you need to make sure you get because it can take months to receive. You also need to get a federal background check, and to do that, you need to get your fingerprints done at the police station. So I definitely make sure that you go and get your fingerprints done and request that federal background check. And the last thing that you'll need is your diploma from graduating from college. You go through a lot of steps to get your visa, so you want to make sure that you have all of your documents and everything is ready to go. While you're waiting for your documents, you want to move on to step number 4, and this is to draft all of your emails. So you want to draft an email that you will send to potential recruiters. This email is going to say your name, where you're from, your date of birth, and what you're looking for, where you want to live in Korea, what age group you want to teach. Again, specifically, this is for people who are wanting to work in a private school. There's a website called Dave's ESL Cafe. You go on there, and it's kind of like Indeed or something else where people have job listings, and they are from the recruiter. So you email the recruiter all of your information, what you're looking for, if you find a job listing that interests you. I recommend emailing 10 recruiters because you'll get responses, but you want many options. Each recruiter has different connections. Each recruiter knows different schools. So you want to keep your options open and have as many interviews as you can, so you can have as many options of schools as you can. Step number 5 is interviews. When the recruiters start getting back to you, they're going to want to have an informational interview, just discussing with you who you are, what you want, where you want to be in Seoul, etc. Or anywhere in Korea. If you want to be in Busan, if you want to be in Daegu, anywhere you want to be in Korea. And then they give you times, and you have interviews with the schools. Usually you have interviews with the principal or the head teacher. Some interviews can be 5 minutes, some interviews can be 45 minutes. Some schools ask you many questions, some schools ask you no questions, but it is a two-way interview. You definitely want to have a list of questions to ask your recruiter and the principal in the interviews, because you want to have as much information as possible. How far away is the apartment from the school? What are the working hours? How much are you required to work outside of working hours? You should ask about class times, how lunch works, about break times, how many students you have in each class, how many foreign teachers are at the school. Can you speak with a foreign teacher at the school? Can you get one of their emails to ask them questions? There's so many questions that you can ask, and there's so many things that you still won't know. So do your best and find the things that you want, your non-negotiables, and pick the school that is the best fit. When looking at your contracts, you want to ensure that they pay for your apartment, they're paying for your airfare to get over there, if not reimbursing you. They're paying for half of your insurance, they're paying severance. There are a lot of benefits to teaching in Korea, but there are a lot of schools that benefit from people not knowing enough about teaching in Korea. So make sure you're doing your research before you sign a contract. There is also a blacklist, a Korean Hagwon blacklist. You want to look at the blacklist so you are sure that you do not sign a contract at a school where people have had horrible or traumatic experiences. Once you get your visa for a certain school, it is extremely hard to transfer it, and you need that school to cooperate to let go of your visa. It's a very long process. So take your time and really be sure when it comes to picking your schools, because it will be linked to your visa. Number 6, congratulations, you signed the perfect contract. Don't be worried, you're gonna find an amazing school. And now you have to gather all of your documents and get all of your documents ready for sending. So this is what I like to call document details. So you remember that background check that you got? Now you have it in the mail and you need to go get it notarized. They need to make sure that it is you and sign off. While you're with your notary, you want to take a copy of your diploma. Make sure you take a copy of it and they don't sign your original, and make sure that it is you and they are notarizing that it is for you. Once you have both of those documents notarized, you have to go to your Secretary of State and get them apostilled, which means that they are a confirmed document from the US saying that you can use it in another country. So do some research based on your state on how you need to do that. Once you have those ready, you are going to print out some documents and sign them, and you are going to ship all of these papers to Korea. And for me, that was about $105. I overnighted it and it got there the next day, and within 6 weeks I got my visa issuance number. So that leads us to step number 7, where these are our final steps. So when you get your visa issuance number, you're going to send your physical passport with your paperwork to the nearest Korean consulate in your area, and they are going to process your visa, add it to your passport, and they will send it back and you will have your visa. You will be in contact with your recruiter this whole entire time, and they will be helping you and walking you through this process. They will also be communicating with your school so you guys can communicate on what day is best to come to Korea. Some schools will buy your plane ticket for you. Some schools you will buy it and they will reimburse you. Either way is fine, but then when you have your date, you can pack and get yourself ready to move to South Korea. And number 8, once you're packed and ready to go, you are flying off to South Korea, and you will have your visa inside of your passport, and that is something that they will use and look at to verify that you have a long-term visa and you are allowed to come into the country of Korea. And I'm so proud of you. You did such a good job. I know that process can be a long and sometimes stressful time. It took me about 9 months from the time that I started looking to when I left, and I would say that that is about right. I knew someone who did it within 3 months, but it can take a while, so just factor in some time for that. Step number 9 is once you're in Korea, your school will definitely help you with all of this once you are there, but you will go and get a health check, and they do blood work, urine samples, all kinds of things, and you have to pass it, a drug test and everything. Once you are clear, you can take that and other documents to immigration. And once you sign up and make sure that you're showing them, I'm here, I have everything, my school is proving that I work for them, etc., you will get your ARC card in the mail in a few weeks. So step number 10 is to enjoy the year or longer that you are in South Korea because you got your ARC card. And your ARC card is your alien registration card. So this is basically like a driver's license or identification card here in the States. And this is your lifeline. You have your insurance is tied to here. Any identification is tied to this number and this card. So congratulations. I'm so happy that you made it this far and that you are gonna teach in Korea. I really hope that this video was useful, and I hope that you were able to follow these 10 steps to teach English in South Korea. Again, this literally was the best experience of my life. There are countries in Europe you can teach in. There's countries all over Asia that love having Americans, love having English-speaking people come and teach for them. So I'd highly recommend it, and I wanted to go over some reasons why I think you should. If you're a person that likes change, likes adaptability, likes having fun and enjoying new things, meeting new people, you're not afraid of having new experiences, 100% this is something that you need to do. If you've even been thinking about it, do it. There's no regret. You get to live in the culture. It's so different from visiting. Being in the culture, working with Korean people, it is so interesting, and it is such a fun thing to do, and I think it's such a unique experience. There's not a lot of ways to get such a deep cultural experience, and to literally live in the culture, work in the culture, and be with the people. It's just so beautiful. You get to learn to be adaptable and go with the flow. Oh my gosh, things can just change on the fly all the time whenever you're teaching in Korea, so you just have to be adaptable. You have to learn how they do things. You have to learn how to adapt your teaching style to different children and different personalities. Those are skills that you'll take into your whole life. Food is so cheap, food is so accessible, and it is amazing. It is so insanely good, and you can find cheap, healthy options. The transportation is insanely efficient and so amazing. Even if you are in Daegu or Busan, you can take the train everywhere. Everything is very transient. It's such an easily accessible and walkable country. You do not need a car. You can get around everywhere with the KTX and the metro. It's so simple. You get to meet new friends from all over the world, not just people from your country, not just people from your state. You're meeting people from everywhere, getting so many new stories, and it's just such a fun experience to have a big melting pot, a real true melting pot where everybody really shows their culture. Like I said, it's such an efficient city, and it creates such an efficient lifestyle. It's so easy to get food. It's so easy to get things delivered. If you bought something, you will literally get it to your door within 24 hours. It is wild. You can get food fresh. You ordered it, not even 20 minutes later, you'll have it at your front door. It is the coolest thing. Everything is so efficient and so smartly put together. In Korea, mostly everything is in English. If you go to a restaurant, there will be menus in English. There will at least be pictures that you can look at and point to. It makes everything so easy. When you go to the trains, everything's in English. Signs, everything are in English, and it's super easily accessible. You can save your money while doing whatever you want. You literally can save so much while you also eat and travel and shop and have fun, go do karaoke, whatever you want to do, and you will be able to save. There's so many different tiny neighborhoods within Seoul or within Korea's big cities, and there's always new cafes, new restaurants, something new to try. There's always shopping going on, some sort of market. The last thing I wanted to talk about on why you should live and go to South Korea and teach is that it's so easy to travel to other countries. If you're the type of person that has wanted to visit other countries, this is a really easy way to kind of step your foot into Asia, get to know the culture, and you do get 2 major vacation times during the year in Korea, so 1 winter break and 1 summer break, so you'll get about a week off for each, and you do get some time for Lunar New Year as well. So those times you can take flights. You can take a $200 flight to Japan. You can take a $400 flight to Bangkok. Like, there are so many options, and whenever you're in those countries, it is so cheap to travel and be there. So it's so fun to be able to see new cultures, and the fact that it's so cheap and easy to get to is mind-blowing. I hope this video was encouraging for some of you guys to learn that you can do anything you want, and it is seriously not as hard as you think to do something like this. I hope this step-by-step guide really helped you guys and was easy to follow. If you have any questions, leave them down below, DM me, whatever, and I'm here to help you. I hope you guys take this advice and actually put it to work. That would be amazing. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.